Study abroad has existed at Mott for 8 years now. And it's such an important program because as the world is changing in fast pace, Mott students need to be able to be competitive in the global market. And so study abroad allows the opportunity for lots of new skills. It enhances critical thinking, it gives them new perspectives. It's extremely helpful for adaptability, broadening student perspectives, and increasing their intercultural awareness and communication.
I found out about the study abroad program from a commercial that we were working on for the commercial production class. We had to do what was it? We had to do like an infomercial about something that was going on. And so I chose to do the fall rally. And while I was at the fall rally, someone said I should stop and talk to the study abroad table. And when I talked to Professor Devon and Professor Esperanza, I decided that I wanted to try to apply for study abroad.
So I went to a class. It's the beginner's class for Spanish, and my professor, which is the professor that I went on a trip with, she was telling us about it. She had flyers on all the tables and stuff. So I had a couple weeks to really learn about it and consider going. I've never been out the country before this. And I was my first in my family to go out. So I was like, she kept talking about how um money would have not been an issue for this trip. She was gonna get us scholarships. It was gonna be safe. She was telling me she was telling the class she went to like 35 different countries, stuff like that. I'm like, it seems like something that I can do by myself.
So I actually went on the study abroad program last year with the same professor, with Professor Esperanza, or we call her Profe a lot. So I went to Costa Rica last year and I originally heard from that trip from being in her Spanish 181 class, which was the first class I had in person after going back to college, after not being in college for a couple years. And I'd always wanted to travel. So it seemed like a good opportunity, and I got along with the teacher really well. So I had gone to Costa Rica with them in March of 2024. And so she had mentioned at the end of that trip about the Peru trip. And I mean, why not? I've done it once and it's a different country, a different place. You get to see Machu Picchu, experience a new culture. So I applied, and it really didn't think of any of the other trips. I knew from the beginning I wanted to go on the Peru trip.
I found out about the study abroad program because I actually took Spanish last semester. And my professor actually told me about it. I didn't know that it was going to be for 10 days because I do have two babies at home. So I was just like, okay, yeah, sure. So I did apply for it. I think she actually told us that it was going to be for 10 days, but it just didn't register to me. But yeah, I actually went home the same day, and I asked my husband and my mom, like, so if I was to go to Peru, would my babies be okay here? They like, duh. So I went. Best decision ever.
My favorite day in Peru was the day of the cooking class.
Hold it like this. Okay. And that is an inverted flambé. Did you see that I shoot it on top?
You're on fire, dude.
You gonna get Chris to do that, then we gonna go home and we gonna set something on fire, right? It's like Sagana.
My favorite day when I went down there on the Peru trip was I would say it was probably the cooking class that we had. I really liked that. It was really nice, and we were all together. It was about 9, 10 of us all together down there, just having fun, cooking.
I just did the worst mistake of this day.
So it's hard to choose a favorite day. I'm bad at choosing favorites in general. But a couple memories that really stuck with me on the trip, we did a group cooking class where he took us to the San Pedro market, which is the biggest market in Cusco. And we kind of got to try some different foods throughout the market, and he kind of showed us how it worked. And then we bought our ingredients that we went back to the kitchen to cook with.
For Mexico. I have to accept that they have more spicy ones, but we have bigger number.
And we got to cook quite a few different meals and make different drinks. And I just thought the whole experience was really cool and fun. And I don't have a lot of experience with cooking. And so it was a really fun thing. And we were all together as a group doing it. So that was fun. And on the way there, actually, and on the way back after, we kind of got stuck in a festival that was going on in the streets. They're like throwing water balloons and foam and glitter and all this different stuff.
It was actually the last day of Carnival, which is the same thing that they do in New Orleans for like Mardi Gras. And he said, we're going to walk down some very thin streets so we can avoid the festival. And people in our group said, no, we want to go.
I had a blast. I think I was like a big kid again. I've never done anything like that. And growing up in Flint, we've never had anything like that. Like, I feel like a lot of us just want to stay indoors.
And we were about halfway through the street, and you see a water balloon just get tossed at Alvaro.
Okay. Shit.
This sounded like a baseball player threw it. It was like a rock hit the wall. And I don't know, he said shit. Like, as soon as it come past his face, he's like shit, because he know it. So now, like, a couple more balloons come our way. The girls in our group are screaming. And everybody's looking over there, and now we're getting pelted with balloons. People are spraying foam at us, but it was a fun time, and that was all before we even got to the cooking class.
Being in Peru definitely grew me up a lot, and I thought I was grown. I'm 27, so I thought like, okay, yeah, I got this, but I did not have this. Being in Peru definitely, like I said, grew me up. Actually, this was my first time traveling without family.
Traveling wise, it's not very different from most flights if you've been on a plane. Gracias. The only difference is, like, once you get into the country that you're arriving to, you'll have to go through customs. You grab your bag and you get security checked again, and then you're in another airport, and then from there flights are domestic, so you just fly around like normal.
What it was like to leave for the first time, it was like very shocking. And I think I've gotten to the point where I've just like, I'm not scared, but like, I'm not scared. So I'm just trying to be as objective as I can while I just like leave my parents and my sisters, and I'm just going down there by myself. It was just an experience.
I've never traveled out the country. This is my first time. And I'm the first in my family too.
I would say the only thing that really scared me was actually just being away from my dad. Excuse my face. It's my dad. Yeah. That's all I got. Like, of course I miss my mom too, but like, I usually call my dad for everything. So, like, the people didn't scare me. Honestly, when I went down there, the people were really nice.
Hermanas, la única mujer, recién una pequeñita y mi papá y mi mamá.
Sí.
Siete,
everybody really minded their own business, which is like something that you would hope for wherever you go. They're just like really nice people. And even if they weren't, I'm from Flint, so I know how to mind my business. So that ain't a problem for me. It's just like usually anything that happens, call my dad. That was the only thing that was a bother for me.
Being away from my family for the first time, and especially for 10 days, was horrible at first. I cried nonstop. I think the first night, me and my roommate both cried, like babies. But yeah, it was definitely horrible. I FaceTimed him a lot. My youngest, he's 2. He kept asking, where did I go? Which hurt me even more. I have never been away from them for this long. I think I've never been away from my youngest for more than a day, and my oldest, who's 4, for more than 3 days. So it was a lot. It was a lot for me. Not necessarily my husband. I love him, but yeah, it was my kids. That's what got me a lot. And maybe it's because they don't quite understand FaceTime. So like with him, I was able to like talk to him a lot via FaceTime. But with them, I talk to them for a second and then they're off playing or doing something. So it's like I barely seen them. But as the time went on and I got closer with everyone else and we became like family, I got better. And even the times when I did get sad, somebody made me laugh because it was a lot of goofy people on the trip. And just taking my mind off of it made me feel really good.
Filosofía, I showed how planificated Machu Picchu. Can you see straight up?
Machu Picchu is it's a surreal experience. It was hard for me to like, I don't know. It's a lot. You see a lot. You know how much it takes for us to get like just certain tasks done in a day. Just, you know how long it takes to like make a garden bed or just attend to that. And when you see all of these terraces, all of these buildings that's been standing up for years, like the architecture, and there's just a bunch of little things around there that like let you know people were really in touch with the earth before, and we lost that.
Big flex on your brother. Say, I went to Machu Picchu. Where you been at? Can you scoot over a little bit? Thank you.
Going to Machu Picchu, which is one of the wonders of the world, less than 1% of the world's population has ever been there. So going there was literally like one of the best days that I had being there. It was very emotional for me because I haven't really been anywhere ever. So going from someone that grew up in Flint, that a lot of times we didn't have like enough cash to pay bills and everything. And then now I'm at a place where less than 1% of the world's population has been, was very emotional for me. Like I was very happy. I was very amazed. I couldn't believe it at all. I think I cried when I was up. I did cry. Yeah, I cried when I was up there. I'm getting emotional right now just thinking about it. But it was very amazing. It was very amazing. When I came back and I shared the things that I did, my family was just like amazed by everything that I did. All the pictures that I took, and that doesn't even give it justice. But it's definitely one of the best experiences of my life. A lot of people that I know, I met one person so far in Flint that said that they actually been there, but that was it.
So I think I saw a lot of people grow in their own ways, but Rayanne, I think we were all able to see a lot of growth with her. She's kind of more introverted to begin with, but once you get to know her, she lets more of her personality be seen and loves to joke and is very bubbly. Even at the beginning of the trip, she was kind of scared of heights and going downstairs and different things like that. And I mean, to be fair, the stairs were made of stone and half the time it was raining. So understandably. And, by the end of it in Machu Picchu, she was helping another classmate go down the stairs herself.
If you want to see one kind of like a look here.
My favorite thing I got out of the trip would probably be the connections that I got with like my new sisters or my new friends. Because now we can look back at this stuff together. I just like doing things with other people. Because in my family, I'm the youngest, but I'm like really the youngest because I'm like 10 and a half years younger than my actual sister. So I'm used to doing things alone. But so now that I have these friends and I have these new sisters, I feel like that is the most that I cherish. Besides the trip, besides the knowledge of like, oh, I don't have that much knowledge. And I find that experience like really, really rich. My dad has said, "You're making your own history right now." And I was like, dang, yeah, I am. Okay. And that's my new little quote. I'm making my own history.